So that is way more than the average that I've been doing for the past, 3, 4 months, even past a year, to be honest with you. So I've been seeing a little bit of a climb and just inventory without even looking at the numbers, just the feel from what I've been doing with my showings, I guess you could say.
Hey y'all, Katie here with Team Evo AZ. Thank you so much for following us and listening to our podcast. Here is season 3, and we are super excited for this season. As you know, we are based in the Phoenix, Arizona area, servicing buyers and sellers throughout the valley. But what you might not have known is we are expanding nationwide. So if you know of anyone that might be looking to get into the real estate business or needs to buy or sell a property, but it is not in Arizona, we can still help. Please feel free to message us and enjoy the show. Hey everybody, we're back again with Real with Katie and
Matt.
This time around, I got it right.
You did. You didn't say this time. It's Matt and Katie.
Hey, everybody. As you know, we are the married couple that works out of the Phoenix area, and we do some real estate, don't we?
We do.
We're here every month. Actually, we're here twice a month. And every month we're here with a market update. So this is our June market update.
Yeah.
And we're typically here with Ryan Gilliam with Waterstone Mortgage. We're going to let him go on vacation this week, though.
Everyone needs a vacation, and especially Ryan.
Yes, especially Ryan. Battery recharge is super important. And I don't know, well, Alex can probably attest to this, but I don't know about you guys, but I can call Ryan at like 10 o'clock at night and he answers his phone.
Yeah.
I can email him at 11 o'clock at night with a question and I get a response back that night. So I question whether Ryan sleeps.
I don't think so, but I think you could text him at 11 or 10 o'clock at night on his vacation and he would respond.
Probably.
So
Don't do it
Ryan
though.
rolls.
Poor
Yeah,
Ryan.
Don't do it. But hey, that's why you hire professionals like us.
You'll probably get a pre-qualification letter at that time too. So
exactly.
Yeah. So today, who we have filling these awfully large shoes of Ryan is the beautiful, the wonderful, the amazing Alex.
Spectacular. Alex Darugar.
Oh, thank you guys.
Everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys doing?
Awesome. You've had a busy little week, haven't you?
It has been. It's been a lot of showings this week.
Heck yeah.
So let's talk about it. So this is our market update. Typically we have Ryan kind of talk about rates and things that are going on in the lending world, but we don't have Ryan today. So we're just going to talk about real estate. Let's talk a little bit about the things that you've been seeing. For those of you who don't know, Alex is our senior buyer's agent, been with us for 9 years, Alex, something.
I think it's 9 in August.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Wowzers.
Yeah.
We raised him, everybody.
Basically,
not really.
That.
Well, I guess kind of. But you're super busy. You do you handle the majority of our buyer clients that come through the team. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on for you in the last month. Have you seen some differences out there? What's it like from the perspective of boots on the ground?
Yeah, so I feel like I've been getting sent over, and just by viewing the MLS as well, but just sent over a lot of homes that my clients like as of lately. As I'm showing properties, I would say 2-3 months ago, I'd maybe show 1 to 3 properties at a time to that single client. It would hardly. Honestly, it would just be like 1 at a time at times. And now I just yesterday I showed 6. Over this weekend, each one of my clients I showed 8 to each one of them in one single day.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Over this weekend, I think I showed almost 30 properties, and that's to 3 different clients. So that is way more than the average that I've been doing for the past, 3-4 months, even past a year, to be honest with you. So I've been seeing a little bit of a climb and just inventory without even looking at the numbers, just the feel from what I've been doing with my showings, I guess you could say.
So you are basically explaining it's a drastic difference from, say, March.
Yeah, absolutely. Drastic difference from March.
And I'm noticing too, slide girl over here. I'm noticing, also with dealing with our clients, I handle mostly listings. That's my job on the team. And I've been noticing the same thing. So over the last month or so, I've noticed less showings on our listings. So we were getting, in some cases, 40, 50, 60 showings on our listings in the matter of a couple of days, right? I mean, it was crazy for a couple of months there. And now that's starting to
subside.
It is. And so maybe I get 20 showings on my listings.
Yeah.
And I went from, getting 20, 25 offers, craziness on listings. Now maybe I only get 5 or 7. So I've been really seeing it too. And when we pull the numbers, so I'm going to show you a couple of slides here, but
get ready for this.
Get ready for my slides, people. But when we pull the numbers, you can really see it. So the first thing that I wanted to share is, if I can find it here, is every month I share what the inventory levels are like, right? So I'm only looking at single family homes. And I'm only looking at Maricopa and Pinal County, so the largest counties that are here in the Phoenix metro area. And how many months, guys? We would talk about it in our team meetings. We would talk about it here on the show. Like, how many months in a row were we under 3,000?
It was. I would probably say from the end of January to almost the beginning of March. Yeah. Middle of March, we would do that, and it's gone up. I would say almost reflective of the stats that you're seeing with your listings and the stats that you're seeing with the amount of properties that your buyers are selecting to see. It seems like somewhere between 25% and 33% of an increase in inventory.
Yeah. And we'll see it. I have a couple more slides where you'll see that also. It's pretty interesting. So this was pulled as of, you can see it. Last save 6/23, which was last night at 20 of 11 is when I pulled this stat. And it's 3,680. We were in some weeks, we were significantly below 3,000.
Yeah, close to 20. I think 24 something was like our lowest one.
Yeah.
Which, that's it says a lot. But I think it's great. I think all the ingredients are there for everyone that's getting involved in this market to see the success they want. The sellers getting the prices that they want, still having that demand, having some control, and buyers being able to actually get some traction and finding what they want and still being able to capitalize on these historically low rates.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It is kind of a sweet spot right now. I totally agree with that. So let's check this one out. This one is super interesting. So we're going to go back in time a little bit. We're going to go back to March. Okay. So these are showing statistics. So this is valley-wide single family residences again only. So if we're looking at the most popular price point between 300,000, 399.9, look at these showings. This is back in March, okay? Almost 50,000 showings in the month of March. If we look down to that price point down here, we can see that it was taking about 18 showings per listing to get a contract, right? So check this out. I have to stop and reshare here. So this is June. So I pulled the stats for June, again, late last night. Same thing, price point, the most popular price point, 3 to 39999. And check this out.
Whoa.
We're only at 27,500 showings. Granted, we have 10 more days or whatever it is, 7 more days in the month of June to go, but we're only at half of the statistics of March. And we're down to now about 30
right there. That
showings.
number also represents exactly what we're saying, right around that 30s, right between 25 and 33 percent. That's awesome. That's what I think everyone's been really kind of doing, inventory dances for. And I think it's just it's a good check for everyone. I think it's kind of given some inspiration to buyers so they're not so defeated and thinking, oh my gosh, how long is this going to last? They're seeing some traction. They're seeing results.
That's huge. I have buyers that are finally in a somewhat relaxed state, feeling like they're not going to be homeless and fighting for every little place they see out there.
I absolutely agree. Yeah.
And one of the things that this market is almost perfect for, and a lot of the people that we've seen sitting on the sidelines for this are contingent sellers that are saying, hey, we really want to sell our home, but we have to sell it to buy something else. And of course, in this market, for any buyer to say, hey, we have to sell a home in order to, the sellers are saying, we don't want to dance that dance.
They don't want a contingent offer.
They don't want a contingent offer. So now that we're seeing, this balance, this is a great time for these sellers that, the buyers that are contingent, to jump into the marketplace so they can capitalize on these low rates. At least putting their toe in the water to see what's going on, because I think, and this is just my crystal ball, we know how that goes. I think this is what we're going to see throughout the summer. I think a lot of people are kind of going into this traditional vacation mode. They can actually go out and do stuff. And I think we are going to see kind of these inventories trickle up, rates remain low. But I have a feeling the second the reality of cold weather and the fall starts coming in and all that, and if rates are still low where they're at, I think we're going to see a really big spike come the fall.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's typical for our market
yeah.
also.
And
typical cycle.
And I think that it's just going to be heightened. I just think it's going to be bigger than normal. Like, we're going to really see it. So this could be a great time to dance.
Definitely. And I have a few more slides here. You know me. I had another one that was really interesting. Yeah. So this one is pretty cool. Let me share it with you here. Just kind of wanted to point out, I'm sorry that it's so huge. I don't know why it's giant. But anyway, we'll work with it. So this is a bar graph of inventory. Okay. So there's a few other little things here, but just look at the bars. And so inventory levels in April, and this is so back in when COVID hit, right? Look at how interesting this is. So March 20, April 20, May 20. Check it out. So this is March 20. Look at how much lower it is. So we were nearing like 2 months worth of inventory. And then COVID hit in March, right? Everything got shut down. People totally freaked out. Look at the increase in inventory for April and May. And then everybody was like, okay, really sick of being in these four walls. My house is too small, or it's not in, where I want it to be, or whatever the case may be. Look at the drop in just 1 month of inventory levels. So this is all last year. You could see we kind of bumped along, dropped, increased a little, dropped, increased a little. And then look down here. I thought this was also interesting. We started feeling an increase in inventory. Of course, this only goes to May. We don't have June statistics, but our feelings, they were spot on. I don't have to look at this. So
just slightly every single month, just slightly growing. Yeah. Which is fine. Yeah. I think it's very healthy.
And I think that's exactly what you're seeing, boots on the ground, Alex.
Yeah. I mean, like Katie said, she's going from seeing, 20 to 25 offers to 5 to 10 offers on each property. And that's the same thing I see with each one of my contracts that I'm putting in for my buyers too, every single one of those listings. But at the same time, it's still very healthy for the seller. Like you said, they're still getting the price they want. And my buyer is getting a little bit more of a leeway in which they're not bending over backwards to get the property. It's a lot easier to compete with 5 to 10 people than it is 20 to 25. And that's kind of been what I've been seeing. It's not going up against a lot more people, has been faring a little bit better with my buyers for sure.
And obviously you don't get to see the other offers that come in. But what's your general sense when you're following up with feedback from the ones that you aren't getting? Are the majority of the offers that you're competing with in these price range financed, or are you seeing that same level of cash buyers that we were seeing 2-3 months ago?
Now that's something that hasn't really let up. I'm still seeing cash buyers, and they're still putting strong offers in. And at the same time, it's all going to depend on the price range too. I'm getting different levels of different types of offers varying from anywhere from 300 to 700,000. So I see different types of offers with each one. So it's been interesting. This one,
your co-host is bothering you.
Yeah.
Introduce him. Introduce your beautiful co-host.
She wants to come on. Hi,
She wants
Julie.
attention. But yeah, so like this one that, oh my gosh, I'm sorry guys.
That's Jubilee. Come on, introduce her. Everyone wants to know who she is.
I got it. Come here.
Come here, Julie.
Here we go.
Oh, she has stage fright.
Oh, now she has stage fright. She wants her.
Oh,
God,
she's
stage
so
fright.
cute.
This is Juby, everybody, the corgi.
Thanks, Juby, for keeping
Say
Alex
hi.
sane after long days of puppy cuddles.
Hardly keeps me sane. She's the one who drives me insane, but not this market. But yeah, like this one that I got. I put in 2 offers for my client who's looking up to 700,000 in Gilbert. One of them in Queen Creek. We went $50,000 above list price cash, okay, and cash contingent. But their property was already under contract in California, okay. Now I get a call from the listing agent. She says, "Hey, we have an offer that's substantially above." And I said, "Substantially above $50,000 above list price?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, can't do anything with that." But then the next one, we were only a little bit, probably like we went $35,000 above a $600,000 property. And she came back. This listing agent came back, called me and said, "Hey, you're 10K apart. You've got a couple of terms that we like in comparison to the other offers," and we were able to make that 10K split. But you know, and that was in the $600,000 to $7,000 range. In the 300s, I'm not seeing people, and it's really interesting. You would think it would be the other way around. I'm not seeing people going crazy above, like
I agree,
like 50,000 or 75,000, like we're doing in the 600 to 700s range. I'm seeing it going 2 to 4%, maybe 2 to 3% above list price right now, which is actually a substantial difference from what I was putting in, 2 to 3 months ago. So it's kind of interesting with the different price ranges that you're seeing, and the level of competition in your offers.
Yeah.
I totally agree. And I'm seeing that on the listing side too. One thing that I think is a win, is just a real benefit out of what's going on right now, is the anxiety levels of both buyers and sellers have dwindled a bit, which is nice, because it's, everybody thinks, oh yeah, seller's getting 25, 30 offers. Oh, that's awesome. That must be so fun. No, it's not.
No,
it's not fun at all.
No.
That's really overwhelming for them. At some point, it's just too many decisions to make. We do our best to organize the information so that it's easy to digest and easy to make a decision. But at one point, 25, 30, even little tabs on a spreadsheet to go through is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, it throws these sellers, and they're already overwhelmed because they're moving, possibly out of state or new job, whatever's going on. And moving is overwhelming and stressful in and of itself. And now to throw on all of these decisions that they have to make. Back in the day when sellers only had 2 or 3 offers to decide on, it was a lot easier for them. It was a lot less stressful. And then flip it around on the buyer side. These buyers are now not having to give away like their firstborn child, basically, and then I mean by like waiving inspections, not even inspecting the property whatsoever. That was a scary thing for some people. I know that's still kind of happening out there. But for, say, the first time buyer, that's a reason I wouldn't sleep at night over me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think like what we've just talked about and what we're seeing, we're going to see this affecting different processes of a real estate transaction. And one of the ones that I think we're going to see within the next probably 30 to 60 days, which I just kind of saw on one, are appraisals that are going to be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And what I mean is that the appraisers are going to be more conservative. They're not just going to give it away at that high price. They're going to be more critical, and we're going to see these appraisals coming in lower. And that's ultimately how the banks protect themselves in especially heavily appreciating markets. They're really leaning on the appraisers to do this. I just had a property that We just closed. We offered 1.5 on it. It was multiple offers. I did the comps. I'm not an appraiser, but I had comps all day long to justify 1.5. The list price was 1.45. You figure $50,000 in that price point, no problem.
Right.
Especially where this home was located. The appraiser came back and came with this weird, almost just random number of 470. And it was
1.47.
Yeah, 1.470. So like, sorry about that. Yeah,
What?
I missed $1 million on that. Yeah.
Kind of a little
just a little
detail.
bit. So 1.47. But when you think about it, it's like, so we start going through the comps and it's almost laughable how this guy he wanted to make it come under. There was plenty of tangible evidence and supporting values to give it 1.5 all day long. But they didn't. So I'm wondering when we're going to start seeing that really trickle down.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I agree.
And that's good that's something for sellers to keep in mind so they don't get too greedy, because we know what happens if, sellers end up saying, hey, I want it. My friends just got $50,000 more than their house is. Let's go 50 more. That you start dancing with this big problem that under appraisal happens.
Right. And what people don't understand, because we have these conversations a lot, and it's rightfully so. It's not something they do every day, but what people don't understand is, maybe your friend got 50 grand more for their house, but they're probably in a totally different neighborhood. They're probably in a totally different town or city, whatever. They've got a different house than you. So that is something that you have to take into consideration also. And a lot of people don't.
Yeah. And a different market.
Oh, yeah.
Look what we just looked at.
Right.
30 days, 60 days, 90 days ago, we're all different markets.
Yep.
So it's good to really look at the data and ultimately trust your professional. Look at them, ask critical questions. Feelings are good, but at the same time, we want to be very realistic.
Yeah, trust somebody who's literally working every single day in this market, because like you said, it's changing every 30 days. If you're not keeping tabs on it, you're going to be putting in the wrong offers, looking in the wrong areas, all those type of things. So got to trust somebody who's on the ground looking at everything in this market every single day.
I agree with that. And I want to add a little something to that. I think it's important that the person that you choose to work with has experience in a multitude of markets. So then they can understand how this one is different.
Yep.
And they can understand how to work with personalities. Because, working with the other agent, like the co-broke, is a crazy, on my side, it's the co-broke agent, right? So it's the sales agent usually, but you working with the listing agent, like those things are important to know too. When dealing with them, when communicating with them, when building that relationship. It's just, we say it all the time. Experience is just so important. It's not like this is just you're out buying pancakes or something like that. I mean, this is just a huge, but, if you get the wrong pancake, then it doesn't matter the next day. You get the wrong house, or you get the wrong situation, or you dive in with the wrong person, then it could be painful.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, this was a good talk.
It was great, like always.
Thank you so much, darling.
And I'm so sad that Ryan wasn't here, but I'm so happy that Alex could be here.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Thank you so much, Alex, and everybody out there. If you are interested in being a guest on our show, please follow us. And our little handle is @TeamEvoAZ, and we're on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So go visit us there. Give us a little like, shoot us a message, and we'll get you on the show. While you're there, please, hop over to your favorite podcast platform, perhaps the one that you're listening to right now, and subscribe to our show. Please download the episodes, so then that way, without downloading, you don't get any credit for the episodes. I don't know if you guys knew that, but iTunes, Google Podcasts, things like that, they're not going to think that we're cool enough to send this show organically out to other people. So we want to get the real info to the real people. Please help us out if you like the show. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye.